right, fourth and final one. On the way back, which you'll probably see, I'm going to talk about Tampa J, Nomadic Fanatic, and his split behavior. So, anyways, so we're just, like I said, it's a great day. It's the 12th day of April 2025, and we're just kind of walking along the old Minnesota. Lady, last video, how the camera can be scaring a dog. I don't understand that. Not like I got a weapon in my hand, but whatever. But wintertime, this can be a little hairy. You do bring a walking stick with you because you can fall and go on down the hill. Yeah, it's just so cool down here. You can tell there's another place I might go later on. Down by the Mighty Mighty Mo. That goes, I've done one in the wintertime for their channel one time. It's right across the 7th Avenue Bridge. That's a cool place to walk down there too as well in the wintertime along the old Mighty Mighty Mo. And like I said in the last video, Fort Snelling has a lot of places you can walk down there, and you can go down below and walk all over the place and hang out down there. The bluffs are really cool, but you can kind of tell. I'll find good stuff here. That could come down, but I doubt it, but you can kind of tell. Yeah, you got to crush for Christ. When Jim crushed for Christ, why can't I, right? Smoking cheap cigars. At this moment, when this comes out, like I said, hanging out. And say tomorrow, I might do some live streams around there. We'll see what happens. I don't know. All depends. But one thing I like about this camera, I mean, I like my GoPro, is that I can do 5 to 6 videos per battery. So I've got 3 batteries. Like if I was gonna walk all the way, I wanted to walk and have her pick me up the other end down there, I could bring 2 batteries and do 12 videos. I'm going to no. 4 is enough. It's a good one, and I'll do one on the way back about Tampa and Nomadic Fanatic and his split behaviors going on. And I get he's doing it. I'm happy for the guy. It's great. My buddy of mine built one for his kids on his cabin. I'd love to do it someday with a city bus, but you know, it's not the money, it's the time. And I'd do a city bus. You can buy those for inexpensive. Have someone tow it there for you. They can take the engine out, the transmission out, everything out for you, and just lay it in there and whatever. And you put all your wire in there, and then you make sure you pipe it so it doesn't catch on fire. That's why a lot of buses, a lot of RVs catch on fire. Why? Because there's too much power outage going. You don't have to have stronger wire. That's why houses catch fire up in the roof. A buddy of mine, I ref-rocked with years, well, a friend, but he was from the reffing days. When he would build these beautiful houses, he piped all his wire. He goes, I've never had a house fire in the roof, only one time because of lightning strike. Other than that, he's never had that. And that's the problem with RVs. They run too much stuff through, and they don't pipe their wire, and then things get caught on fire. That's why they start up above. You ever see in the scrap yards, it always starts up top because they aren't smart enough. Well, it works out for the guy, but another one I saw the other day, you guys. Speed Bump Garage. A young man and his dad. Speed Bump Garage. Really cool. Kid's like about 16. He knows more about cars than I would ever possibly. And it's really cool. The kid does a really good job of starting stuff, and his dad is really cool. Speed Bump Garage. Very cool. They deserve their own show on TV because the kid is extremely smart. Again, I've always said Appalachian Trail is you put 20 kids on both sides, Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, Home Depot from the south and Lowe's, and come together, and you teach kids about the Appalachian, and in the middle they build a place in the middle for everyone to have a good time. That's what I would do. It'd be kind of cool. They all work together, enjoying the Appalachian Trail cleanup, and they make a unity thing to get together with. You know. But you can, there's an unfortunate garbage up there, but it is what it is. Nice walk in the woods, huh?
Yeah, man. Finally a nice.
I know, about time. My grass is begging for water. Last time I was here a couple years ago, water was up to here.
Yeah, we were too. Like it was kind of cool seeing all the grass underneath.
Yep.
Like,
Oh yeah. Now look at it. Yep, it was right up. It was right up into here. All into here. Kind of reminds us. This bridge reminds me of behind my house. I've walked in there before. Yep. Be the last one. We'll head on back, and I'll do my Tampa J1 and Nomadic Fanatic bus build drama, whatever. Poor choices. But one thing when you're out in this area, you got to take a leak. You can do it. There she goes. But yeah, it's a nice little bridge. Hanging out. Crushing for Christ. Like you said, finally a good day. Tomorrow's supposed to be 70 degrees. And whatever, but I was looking forward to this vacation in St. Martin. It's our favorite place to be. If I lived in New York or Atlanta, I would I have a place in St. Martin. I'd love to buy my own place there if I was 10 years younger and retire with my mother's money and retire and take it early and build my own, have my own place out there and call it Cowboy Cafe. You're a stranger here once. Love to. Be lots of fun. But anyways, well, there's a cardinal right in there. If you can kind of see him, you can hear a lot of birds. Another nice long bridge. Only worried about when the planes come over, but it is what it is. But the fishing is lots of fun. I wouldn't eat anything out of the Mississippi, the Mighty Mo, or the Minnesota. Wouldn't do it. Especially the Mississippi below Monticello nuclear plant. And when Ford was around, they used to dump paint right overboard, right into the Mississippi. They didn't give two F's about anything. They didn't care. So. Yeah. But yeah, I figured, let's do some crushing for Christ and smoke some cheap cigars on a beautiful day for all you guys out there. One for the king. We got to do it. We got to keep the king a hater. Got to keep him triggered, like he was on his live stream on Thursday. Pissed him on about being the brown shirt. He said, let's set up the showers. That's kind of sad he'd say that, but, he knows what it means. But he likes the hunch and the tariff behavior. There was insider trading because he said, I told a friend of mine when he said great time to buy stock, he was backing off and caved. And he pointed out in a meeting that his friends made $1 billion, $900 million. He pointed that out. He can't help himself. What does that tell you? Insider trading, but he controls the government now. So who's going to investigate him for insider trading? He's got rid of all the people that don't like him. Who's gonna arrest him? Nobody. But some people don't understand about tariffs. I do. who's that one guy for was pissing and moaning about it from Barstool was bitching they lost money. Well, you voted for the hunch, and exactly what he was doing. So, anyways, you know, we really don't care, but you gotta want to care. So, anyways, guys. Crushing for Christ. Yeah, it's called the Bluff Trail. That's what it's called. So anyways, so I got to take a leak. Hope you enjoyed the 4 videos back in the States. Wish you were here, all right? We'll talk to everybody all later. We're going to add a little urine to the mix, okay? See you next time. Crushing for Christ.